Cleopatra, the last pharaoh of ancient Egypt, remains one of history's most captivating and enigmatic figures. Born in 69 BCE, Cleopatra's life unfolded against the backdrop of a changing world, marked by political intrigue, power struggles, and cultural shifts. Her story, deeply intertwined with the rise and fall of empires, has fascinated historians, writers, and artists for centuries. In this exploration, we delve into the multifaceted tale of Cleopatra, examining her early life, her reign, her relationships with powerful men, and the ultimate tragedy that befell her and the ancient kingdom she ruled. Cleopatra was born into the Ptolemaic dynasty, a Greek family that ruled Egypt after the death of Alexander the Great. Her father, Ptolemy XII Thales, faced internal strife and external threats during his reign, and Cleopatra's early years were marked by political turbulence. The Ptolemaic rulers, though of Greek descent, adopted Egyptian customs and presented themselves as pharaohs to gain the acceptance of the native population. Cleopatra's intelligence and education distinguished her from her siblings. Fluent in multiple languages, including Greek, Egyptian, and Latin, she demonstrated an early interest in literature, philosophy, and astronomy. Cleopatra's curiosity and intellect would later play a significant role in her relationships with some of the most powerful men of her time. In 51 BCE, Cleopatra's father died, leaving the throne to Cleopatra and her younger brother, Ptolemy XIII. Cleopatra, however, faced opposition from her brother and other factions within the kingdom. Faced with political turmoil and the looming threat of external forces, Cleopatra sought refuge in Alexandria. During this time, the Roman Republic, a dominant force in the Mediterranean, was experiencing its own internal conflicts. Julius Caesar, a military general and statesman, found himself entangled in a power struggle in Rome. Seeking allies and a stable base of operations, Caesar arrived in Egypt in 48 BCE. Cleopatra, seizing the opportunity, famously presented herself to Caesar rolled up in a carpet, gaining an audience that would alter the course of both their lives. Cleopatra's relationship with Julius Caesar was not solely based on political strategy. The two developed a personal connection, and Cleopatra soon became pregnant with Caesar's child, whom she named Ptolemy XV Philopot or Philometor Caesar, commonly known as Caesarion. This union strengthened Cleopatra's position in Egypt, but it also fueled tensions in Rome. Back in Rome, Caesar faced opposition for his relationship with Cleopatra. Political opponents painted him as being unduly influenced by a foreign queen, further complicating the already tumultuous political climate. Despite the challenges, Cleopatra and Caesar maintained their alliance until Caesar's assassination in 44 BCE. After Caesar's death, Cleopatra returned to Egypt, where political instability continued. In Rome, a power struggle ensued, leading to the formation of the Second Triumvirate, consisting of MarkAntony, Octavian, Caesar's adopted heir, and Lepidus. Seeking to solidify his power and secure resources, MarkAntony summoned Cleopatra to Tarsus in 41 BCE. Cleopatra, aware of the political dynamics, embarked on a legendary journey up the Cydnus River to meet MarkAntony. The queen, adorned in opulent attire, captured the imagination of those who witnessed her arrival. The relationship between Cleopatra and MarkAntony deepened, and they eventually formed a political and romantic alliance. The union between Cleopatra and MarkAntony produced 3 children, further intertwining their destinies. However, their relationship faced opposition, particularly from Octavian, who saw MarkAntony's association with Cleopatra as a threat to the stability of Rome. Tensions between Octavian and MarkAntony escalated, leading to the naval Battle of Actium in 31 BCE. The battle proved disastrous for Cleopatra and MarkAntony, as Octavian emerged victorious. Facing defeat, Cleopatra and MarkAntony fled to Egypt, where they ultimately met their tragic end. In 30 BCE, aware of Octavian's pursuit, MarkAntony died by suicide. Cleopatra, grief-stricken by the loss of her lover and the impending capture by Octavian, also chose to end her life. The details of Cleopatra's death are shrouded in mystery and speculation. Some accounts suggest she died from the bite of an asp, a venomous snake, while others propose alternative theories. Regardless of the method, Cleopatra's death marked the end of the Ptolemaic dynasty and the beginning of Egypt's incorporation into the Roman Empire. Cleopatra's story, filled with political intrigue, love affairs, and tragedy, has inspired countless works of literature, art, and film. William Shakespeare's play Antony and Cleopatra and the 1963 film adaptation starring Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton are just a few examples of the enduring fascination with Cleopatra's life. Her legacy also extends to the realms of science and scholarship. Cleopatra's interest in astronomy and education contributed to the preservation and dissemination of knowledge in Alexandria, a renowned center of learning in the ancient world. The Library of Alexandria, although diminished by the time of Cleopatra's reign, symbolizes the intellectual pursuits that characterized her era.